This is episode 8 of the Be Happy Abroad podcast. As another year is coming to an end, this is for many of us also a time to reflect on the year that has passed, on all the good and challenging times. It enables us to appreciate all that was good and to learn from hardship or mistakes, or maybe even perceived failure. In this episode, we delve into your default way of looking at events, how this impacts your experience of these same events, and how you can use this awareness to increase your resilience. Hello and a warm welcome to Be Happy Abroad, how to live a fulfilling and meaningful life as an international. My name is Franziska Luxhoy and I'm your host. Each week we explore proven strategies and insights to help you adapt, connect and thrive abroad, no matter where in the world you are. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite platform so you don't miss out. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Resilience. The capacity to handle and bounce back from challenges is key in an international life. There are many different aspects, approaches, and tools out there to increase your resilience. The concept we are going to explore today was formulated by Martin Seligman, the founder of positive psychology, and is called the 3P's of resilience. The 3P's are the 3 dimensions that make up your individual explanatory style. What is the explanatory style? It means if you encounter anything in your life, how do you explain that particular event? And that explanation is mostly to yourself. What is your self-talk around it? The way you do this heavily impacts how you are experiencing events and life in general. Your explanatory style has the power to support you or derail you. If it supports you, it can help you manage your stress levels and feel that you are able to solve your own problems and master your world, which is super important in the context of resilience and most definitely in a life abroad. Remember episode number 1 where we unpacked all the different events happening at the same time in a move to a different country? A supportive way of thinking is a must-have in order to handle the stress coming at you in this situation. And there are, of course, many different approaches to this and countless tools to choose from. And yes, today we learn about explanatory styles. And most of us have a tendency to explain different events with the similar or same explanatory style. It is your default way of explaining whatever happens in your life. So, in the first part of this episode, I'm going to talk about the 3P's, the 3 dimensions of your explanatory style, the theory behind it. And in hearing this, I'm sure that you will already be able to recognize yourself in some ways. In the second part, I'm offering a few practical questions and reflections you can use to dive deeper for yourself. So, let's hop right into the theory. The first P is for personal. Do you typically explain things internally or externally? So how personal do you take events? In how far do you see yourself as the cause for something happening? On the 2 outer ends of the spectrum, you find the following. If you personalize events, you internalize them. You think that the problem is you. If you take looking for a job as an example, you will most probably get rejections along the way. If you internalize, you blame yourself, you believe that you are just not good enough. If you externalize, you blame maybe the mean recruiter. That person is your enemy and was really out to get you. And of course, there are less extreme variations in between. It is up to you to reflect where on that spectrum you lie. The internalization is also happening if the problem per se has nothing to do with yourself. For example, if your children forget something or have any kinds of problems, you are immediately looking for what you did wrong, like not having supported them enough, not having spent enough time with them, etc. The second P is for permanent. Do you see situations as permanent or not? So, as stable or unstable? Do you usually think that things are unchangeable or changeable? In the job search situation, you might believe that if you didn't land that one job, you will never land a job. You will always remain unemployed. Or the opposite, more helpful perspective would be, well, if you didn't land that job, there are plenty of other opportunities out there. If you see events as stable or unchangeable, especially the more negative ones, it puts you in a quite paralyzed situation because you might not see a point in doing anything. Acting becomes useless in a way because things aren't going to change anyway. How would that impact your motivation to keep going with your job search or keep going to networking events to find friends and a social circle that you don't have at this point? Last but not least, we have the third P, which is for pervasive. Are situations global or specific from your perspective? Does it only affect a certain part of your life or your entire life? So you don't have a job right now. Your career stagnates. Your life just sucks. That's the pervasive perspective. And the other perspective would be, I'm still looking for a job, but many other aspects of my life here are great. I have a great connection with my partner, found a gym to keep my workout going, met a bunch of awesome people. My children are making friends at the new school and really getting settled. So the 3 P's were personal, permanent, and pervasive. To shift your explanatory style and apply it to support you, the first step is to observe yourself, to notice how your self-talk usually goes, especially when experiencing hard situations. And your style might actually be different for events you perceive as negative or positive. We probably all know this. The self-talk connected to hardship can be quite harsh, where we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. The goal with the reflection is to increase your self-awareness and gain insight into what your self-talk in any given situation typically looks like. The goal is not to distance yourself from any responsibility or to think that everything is going to be great the next day. That is not a supportive thinking pattern either, as it becomes too far away from reality and could even turn into toxic positivity. The most resilient people actually show flexibility in their explanatory style. Moving from a default explanatory style towards more flexibility is the development and personal growth we are looking for. Learning to be flexible. So, resilient people are able to evaluate situations in a nuanced manner, taking responsibility where it is appropriate, letting go of situations that are indeed unchangeable, and isolating events to the area they actually affect, which empowers them to act and make a difference in their own life, because they see where they can take control and change something actively. To gain higher awareness and shift your explanatory style, I'm now going to suggest a process and a few questions you can ask yourself. First of all, think of a few situations in the past few months, or maybe in the year 2023, that stand out as positive or negative to you. And then for each of these situations, you can use the questions I'm going to offer now. They are obviously only a start, and you can come up with your own as well. If you would like support in uncovering your explanatory style, I invite you to schedule a complimentary session where we can explore together. So, with regard to personalization in the given situations, ask yourself, which part did I play here? What could I do differently next time? And which other factors could explain what happened? In the context of permanence, challenge your thinking with these questions. If it feels like something is going to stay a certain way forever, is this really true? Which other situations have you experienced in your life that were hard? Did they change? And chances are probably high that they did at some point. And as a follow-up question, to put you back into power and increase your circle of control, ask yourself, how did I contribute to that change? And can I learn from that going forward? To shift the perspective of pervasiveness, especially if something feels particularly hard for you, look at positive aspects of your life. What is working well at the moment? What do you appreciate about your situation right now? Understanding how you per default look at things and explain situations will help you navigate challenges in a better and more efficient way. It increases your understanding of how your thoughts, mindset, and beliefs shape your experiences in life, and subsequently this supports you in adapting positively, gradually building more resilience and bouncing back quicker after challenges. I would love to hear which insights this new knowledge brought you and how you are implementing this into your life. Let me know at podcast@behappyabroad.com or schedule your personal complimentary session to dive even deeper. The link is in the show notes and on the episode page, behappyabroad.com/8. This was Be Happy Abroad, How to Live a Fulfilling and Meaningful Life as an International. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, leave us a review and share it with your international friends so they too can embark on a journey to fill their life abroad with freedom, joy, love, and happiness.